Hello. So I'd just like to reiterate what I heard from the previous contestants, which is, I'm just really honored to be up here. I was talking with a woman who was in my category. At first I had that pang of, oh gosh, this is a really great idea, and she's really charismatic. She might beat me, but at the end of the day, I thought I'd be happy with that, because there are just so many teams here tonight that have done a really great job, and I'm really just honored to be up here in front of you. What do you think of when you think about volunteering? Do you think about handing out soup at a soup kitchen? Maybe you think about getting involved in your sorority or fraternity at a different event on campus. Unless you're a nonprofit organization, what you probably don't think about is the administrative, financial, and logistical overhead that comes with managing volunteer opportunities, especially executing successful ones. My name is Chris McCarthy, and I'm here to talk about Volu, which is an innovative volunteer platform which helps increase volunteering throughout the country by giving nonprofits the tools they need in order to hold innovative and effective events. I'm going to throw some numbers at you. 1.8 million. That's the number of nonprofit organizations who operate in the United States alone. Last year, they did $1.75 trillion in revenue. Another important number, which isn't up on the board here, is that they also spent 95% of that on expenses. So they didn't really have a lot of money to work with in terms of innovation. 1 in 4 people volunteer. That's a huge number. So that means you look around, the people that you're talking to, the people that you're sitting next to you are probably volunteering. Another number which isn't up on there, $23. That's the amount that a volunteer hour is worth to each of these organizations. So, such a large market, you'd expect there to be a lot of competition. And there's some big fish. So, for the volunteers, you have GiveGab and you have Volunteer Match. And both of these programs help volunteers find events. They help them find where to get involved. However, that's only part of the problem, because on the other end, they still need to interact with the nonprofit organizations. And on that side, you've got programs like Volgistics, which beyond its amazing name, Volunteer Logistics, I love it, they really offer only Microsoft Access functionality. They put your organization in a silo, and they don't let you learn from organizations around you. They're also prohibitively expensive. I mentioned that 95% of revenue in the nonprofit space is going towards expenses. How can you expect to spend $60 to $80 on a platform when you can barely keep the lights on? I keep saying we, but it's just me standing up here in front of you. My name is Chris McCarthy, as I mentioned. I go to Syracuse University. I've got extensive development background, both building mobile applications and web applications. I've also founded a couple of other companies, so I know what the pitfalls are when it comes to startups. Christian Cobb, he has experience working with enterprises and enterprise technologies like CRMs. And he also has extensive customer service experience. And finally, Bing Bai, he's a designer and a developer, and he specializes in material design. And material design is a framework that's developed by Google, which makes user interaction intuitive, and it's very, very slick. So before I get into the product that we actually have, I would like to talk about our vision for the project. I handed out some projections earlier. I don't know if they've made their way around, but we're looking 5 years into the future, and this is what we're trying to do with our product. We're looking to increase efficiency within the current process. We're not looking to reinvent the wheel. We're not looking to tell these volunteer coordinators that they're doing something wrong or that volunteers shouldn't get involved. We're looking to streamline each node of the volunteer process. So it's not just about helping nonprofit organizations, it's also helping those volunteers who want to get involved access those events more quickly. 2 clicks, that's all it takes. You don't have to sign in, you don't have to create an account, you just have to access our platform and you can see what volunteer events are going on around you. We're looking to integrate with existing tools, so Twitter, Facebook, MailChimp, all of these platforms, they're not our competitors, they're assets and they're strengths to us, and there's things that we can help our customers use in order to increase volunteering across the country. And finally, we're looking to capitalize on network effects. Over time, we're going to be able to offer our customers exponential growth because they're going to be able to learn from other organizations. They're going to be able to see what worked for them and what didn't work for them. They're going to be able to see which specific volunteers help them the most and how they help them. So this is our minimum viable product, which is online at www.voluapp.com. As you can see, there is a bird's eye view of your organization. That's Facebook lights, that's total recorded volunteer hours, that's total planned volunteer hours, so you can get an idea of your overall ability impact. Down here on the bottom left is a to-do list. We talk to these organizations and they're saying they're searching through Excel spreadsheets to find out who they need to contact in any given day. Nowadays, that's just crazy. Right here, we're recording an hour. So this is something that we weren't aware of this before we started working on this. Recording hours, as I mentioned, $23. That's what every volunteer hour is worth. So we make it incredibly intuitive to add hours to our platform. That helps these nonprofit organizations see an immediate return on their investment into our product. This is our event calendar, and to be honest, this is probably looking a little basic to you. You're thinking, this is just a calendar, I've got Google Calendar, I've got Apple, I don't need this. But what you're not seeing is that we're actually importing events from Google Calendar, from their Apple Calendar, from Facebook. These platforms that these organizations are already using, we're allowing them to pull this data and add it directly to our platform, thus increasing efficiency. This is a way that you can add people to an individual event, so you can keep track of them, so you can see who's involved with what, and if a volunteer calls, boom, 5 seconds, you tell them what they're involved in. Again, this is our persons tab. These might look like just people, maybe it looks like we even downloaded this from the internet so we can show you this cool looking presentation. But this is actually Facebook friends of this organization. So we are allowing these organizations to capture people earlier in the volunteering cycle when they're interacting on Facebook instead of when they're waiting until they're showing up at an event. So at the end of the day, we are trying to help volunteer organizations hold innovative events. We're trying to help volunteers find events, but we need to make money. And how are we going to do that? To start with, we're going to offer our product for free to volunteers and to organizations that want to add events. We want to attract people to our platform. We want to make it a place where good happens. And the way that we do that is by offering as much as we can for free. When we do start to charge, we're going to charge $20 a month. And that number is based on feedback we've gotten from the organizations we've spoken with. They said, this is what I would be willing to pay. Beyond that, if you want to access Twitter, if you want to access MailChimp, we're going to charge you $5 a month per the API. If you want to have reports sent daily, we're going to charge you $10 a month because that's that's more resources that we need to expend. And if you want to daily or monthly, then we'll charge $5. In addition, larger organizations or organizations that record over 1,000 hours in 1 month, we're going to charge them $99. And again, it's not to gouge them, it's not to make it a ridiculous amount of money. It's so that we can make sure we're around and we're helping these organizations in the long run. So how are we going to reach these organizations? How are we going to let them know that we're here and trying to help them? We are going to do a 100-day research and marketing trip, because what we found is these organizations in Syracuse, where we're from, they have this problem. And there's a good chance that it exists here in Albany, that it exists in Maine, in California, and we want to let them know that we're here and we're trying to work on this problem, and that we want to work with them. What I'm going to say to people is, I am working for you. Tell me how I can help you. So in conclusion, we're asking for $100,000. And as I showed you, we have our core team, which is able to develop and build the product. We don't need to do R&D. We don't need to have ridiculous overhead in order to get this product out there on the market and helping volunteers and volunteer organizations. We can immediately put that money to use, and we can immediately monetize this product because it's online right now. So that $100,000, which might not necessarily move other companies far ahead who have that higher overhead, is going to allow us to really, really make a big impact. And we're going to do it by offering a product which, I'm sure people have said it today, which Peter Thiel would say is 5 times better than our competition at a fraction of the price. And, we really think that's why an investment would be a solid decision by all of our judges and people. Thank you very much. Yes, no, so we are going to be, our business model, we're going to be charging these individual offices, but yes, they are going to be able to be managed by their larger headquarter offices, because hopefully they'll all be on volume and we'll be able to add them, even though we're charging at the local level.
Many corporations have goals for their employees to volunteer services, KeyBank, GE, on and on. Does your product allow some kind of a feedback loop to the corporations that are guaranteeing volunteer services for their employees?
Yep, so if you've ever organized a volunteer event for a company, you know that maybe you get in contact with another company who will help manage that and help you place those volunteers. 6 months to a year, we're looking to make it easy for companies to say, hey, we're looking to get volunteers involved, and then as the organizations track those hours for those employers or employees, then we will be able to give that, as you said, feedback loop back to the companies who hosted the event on our platform to begin with. So we did not set out to build this platform. What has happened is volunteer organizations have been contacting us. When is this going to be ready? When can I start using it? And we've been blessed that just last week we said, now you can start using it. So a lot of it has been them coming to us, but we're also, as I said, going to drive across the country and visit them directly. And we're going to, in addition to content marketing, like we're going on Periscope right now, and other products like that, we're also going to just go and visit them in their, at their home and find out how we can help them. I managed a volunteer organization which placed volunteers with different organizations. And so we started working on this application from the volunteer side of things. And so that's when we went to these nonprofits and we said, hey, this is what we're working on. And they said, okay, that's not really the problem we're facing. Let me tell you about that. And so once we had that conversation and once we started working on that problem, it kind of spread within the Syracuse community. And obviously, that's just the Syracuse community, but we've had a handful of organizations reach out to us who we have never contacted personally, interested in our product.